But the focus right now is going to be on Amit Shah. He arrives there tomorrow. He's the big election warhorse of the BJP, and he arrives in Chennai tomorrow for what is being seen as the beginning of the BJP's Mission Tamil Nadu. The fact is, many people dismiss the BJP. Many people say, they're not going to be able to, make much of an impact. But the BJP has never been short of ambition and work on the ground. So we're going to have to see how this goes. And Amit Shah is, of course, the organization man who knows how to fight an election. And the BJP is not short of momentum and is also brimming with confidence after recent election victories. Joining me live now from Chennai, Narayanan Tirupati, spokesperson of the BJP, who's going to have a very busy day tomorrow. We've got Muralidharan Sivalingam. He's a supporter of the AIADMK, and Narayan Lakshman, who's a senior journalist and a very well-known commentator on politics, especially in Tamil Nadu. Welcome to all of you. Mr. Tirupati, to you first. Big day tomorrow. Amit Shah, the union minister, arriving there. All guns blazing as far as the Tamil Nadu elections is concerned. Many questions for the BJP, but my first question to you, what is on the agenda? Because there are many things for the BJP to sort out before these elections, and no better than Amit Shah coming there to help out.
Particularly this election is without the great leaders of DMK and AIADMK, Mr. Karunanidhi and Ms. Jayalalitha. So we have been saying that there is a very big vacuum in Tamil Nadu politics. And in total in Tamil Nadu in the last 50 years, people are voting for personalities like Kamarajar and Mr. Annadurai, Mr. M.G. Ramachandran, Karunanidhi and Ms. Jayalalitha. But now they are not there. So this election will be a totally different one. The pattern of voting will be to that of the good parties, which can take the state into a welfare state. And people will definitely vote for a good party which have good welfare measures. So I strongly believe that the BJP has done a lot in the last 6 years.
But no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. But tell me tell me what is on the. Tell me the itinerary of Amit Shah when he arrives there. Who all will he be meeting?
Itinerary.
That is what we're interested in, sir.
As far as number one is that government project programs are there, and he is meeting Tamil Nadu office bearers for 2 hours tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's it officially. That's it.
Okay. Narayan, these itineraries are usually very secret. There will be surprises at the last minute. Many people are speculating about, we did hear also about whether Aragiri is going to be part of those meetings. Who knows? Maybe
all those are speculations, rumors.
I know. I agree there is speculation. There is some fun in speculation. But Mr. Tirupati, you and I both know that with the BJP, it is called speculation until it actually happens. So that's also another thing. Narayan, what do you think tomorrow is going to be like when Amit Shah actually arrives? Of course, he's got a lot of work with his ally, the AIADMK as well. But there are so many other things that the BJP is doing. And Amit Shah, obviously, when he comes there, apart from taking stock, the use for a person like Amit Shah will be also the big connections.
Absolutely, Shiv. I think you nailed it, because Amit Shah's mission here to me sounds like one which is designed to build bridges wherever there is a possibility to build any such bridge. And that would include Rajinikanth, that might include Aragiri. Of course, none of these are going to show up on the official agenda because, these are typically closed-door meetings where nothing is firm. But you have to think of the context of the BJP as an entity trying to become a more prominent player on the Tamil Nadu politics stage.
Yes.
Right now, it is not. Of course, my respected friend and colleague, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, would say that they have reached down to the villages and they've been recruiting and they've been building up their campaign steadily. And that, I'm sure, is true. But if you look at the cold statistics of how they've performed, whether in the Lok Sabha elections in 2019 or even the state assembly elections, it doesn't give you a sense that they are anywhere among the biggest players in the state. The biggest players in the state continue to be only the AIADMK and the DMK, and they are a very, very long way from unseating them. So Mr. Shah's agenda is going to be entirely on pulling together those eclectic elements that could in the future challenge them, and that could add momentum to their 2021 campaign, if not just give it a bit of color.
Yes,
other
absolutely.
than saffron.
Very interesting. And, you know, like I said, the BJP can never be faulted for being short on confidence and patience. So, you know, it may not be about unseating a government right now, but about creating a presence, you know, starting the first green shoots of a presence in a state where it is absolutely negligible politically speaking. And that's one of the reasons why it perhaps wants to use the current momentum to achieve that. Mr. Muralidharan, what do you think? The party you support is an ally of the BJP. Amit Shah arriving there, all guns blazing. All indicators are the BJP is not going to make this a half-hearted effort. They are going to put in a lot of heart into this election, whether or not it achieves, you know, the many big things that they are looking at.
Yes, true, Shiv. I think they need to do their part, you know, because whomever they were betting on, like Rajinikanth or so, nobody was really willing to join the BJP as a member. So probably, you know, they were trying to push him into forming a party and helping themselves. But I don't think that's also really taking place. So right now it's a catch-22 for them, and they need allies, and there are not many left. So it's going to be interesting, and we need to wait and see.
Mr. Tirupati, you know, this is one thing that the BJP is constantly accused of. So tell us a little bit, you know, the point is the building of bridges hasn't really worked out in terms of a face, the pulling together of allies to make some kind of a dent. What is the BJP doing on the ground? What are you going to show to Amit Shah when he comes tomorrow?
No, we have to understand, Shiv, in the last 2 years, we have built up a lot of, as Mr. Narayan Lakshman said, our organization structure has improved. Particularly in the last 1 year, our base in the villages have increased. And also our booth committees are very strong. Mr. Amit Shah had come here 2.5 years back particularly for the booth committees, forming of booth committees, and we have done it. And in the last 1 year or so, the youths in Tamil Nadu are coming to BJP in thousands and thousands everywhere from Tamil Nadu. And, as you rightly said, youths, particularly youths, are coming to BJP. And also from other parties, Kushbu, from DMK, a lot of people are coming, even from AIDMK, people are coming. We have to understand all those things because they feel that there is one party in Tamil Nadu, BJP, that will definitely help them to, to take Tamil Nadu into heights. Because the Tamil Nadu is not with a great leader like the others. I do understand that, as Mr. Narayan Lakshman said, that DMK and AIDMK are two big parties. Definitely, I don't deny that. And no other party has flourished in Tamil Nadu except these two. Yeah. But definitely, this time, under the leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi, I am very, very confident that definitely we will get inroads.
I want to ask Narayan about that because, Narayan, it's very clear. Wherever the BJP fights an election, you will see the presence of Amit Shah. You will see the presence of, the Prime Minister as well. Do parties like the AIADMK and the DMK, Narayan, run the risk of being damaged by this narrative that the BJP is going to be pushing quite hard, that, after Jayalalitha, after Karunanidhi, you don't have to choose between the DMK and the AIADMK anymore. There is an alternative. There is this whole youth factor as well. The BJP has a lot of organizational heft as well. Is that something that could damage the DMK and the AIADMK? I don't mean unseat, but damage them.
No, that possibility is always there in general, Shiv, because, as you said, they have not only organizational capacity, the BJP, but they also have money muscle. They are capable, as you saw, I'm not making any allegations here, but you saw what happened in Karnataka in terms of, how the denouement played out there. And I think the only difference in Tamil Nadu, and the reason why this state has repeatedly on multiple occasions in the past rejected the BJP's brand of politics, is because even if there is this power vacuum and Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi are no longer on the scene, the ideology, the Dravidian movement's ideology and the sense of ethnic Tamilness of the people is very much a living sentiment. And it is something that animates voters during election time. And it was interesting to hear Mr. Narayan Tirupati mention that, any party that supports welfare schemes will come to the fore. And yes, Mass welfare schemes have also been an integral part of the Dravidian movement's entire sort of, agenda from 1967 onwards, when they came to power initially. But it goes together hand in hand with the ideological basis of Tamil, ethnic nationalism, which is now a much more accommodative, softer movement. Now, can the BJP deflect enough from its brand of Hindutva politics and homogeneity at a pan-Indian basis to accommodate Tamil Nadu's unique sentiments in that regard? I think that is going to be sort of a fault line which Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi are going to have to very deftly negotiate.
That's a very important point, Mr. Tirupati. Can you address that? The BJP will have to face Tamil sentiment, which has been entrenched. Narayan says it's a live sentiment in many ways even now. The BJP, has played the Hindutva card. You've got the Vetrivel Yatra. You've called DMK, anti-Hindu and atheist. How is that going to play? How confident is the BJP of the Hindu card working in their favor in a place like Tamil Nadu, where Dravidian politics has been the dominant politics?
No, first of all, I would like to say that Dravidian politics is a myth. Definitely, it is, definitely a false thing. And I don't think people are, they don't feel that some people are Dravidians and Aryans. That debate is not at all there in Tamil Nadu, and that politics is not there. As far as Tamil sentiments are concerned, yes, to a certain extent. If Tamil sentiments alone are the main cause for winning an election, then Vaiko would have been the chief minister right from 1976 or 1980. So it is not so. There are a lot of political parties who are only on Tamil sentiments. It is not so. I am telling you, these people in Tamil Nadu were voting only for personalities. They were voting only for personalities.
Okay.
Now this personality is not there. I am telling you, Mr. Stalin, I accept he is a leader for DMK. Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, I accept he is a leader for AIDMK. But I don't think, public have not accepted these people. Now they don't have any option except to vote for a good party. BJP has definitely gone into each and every village in Tamil Nadu. Now we have a wonderful organization set up equal to that of DMK and AID.
Okay.
When he talks about money power in Karnataka and he's talking about money power in Tamil Nadu, I don't know what to say. My friend Narayan Lakshman knows how much money is being pulled here in Tamil Nadu by both DMK and AIDMK. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm very curious to know a lot of people, because the BJP is an ally of the ruling AIADMK, which is of course also a Dravidian party. Muralidharan, how does the AIADMK view the BJP trying to play down the importance, not the importance, but the draw of Tamil sentiment of voters during elections? The BJP says that's not going to be very important in that sense. It's about governance, it's about the leader, and that Tamil sentiment is just something that's been manipulated by these two parties before elections.
The Tamil sentiment will be there, Shiv, because I'll tell you very simply, nobody actually wanted to ally with, probably the ADMK did not want to ally with BJP, thinking they will lose if they go with BJP. They were better off without BJP. That's one reason I think they started going little away from BJP. One. Second is, what is that BJP is trying to offer to the people of Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu is #2 state in the country after, whatever you may say about DMK, ADMK, 18 years of DMK rule and 32 years of ADMK rule, we are #2. And we are proved that, even though they were led by leaders from the spinning field, whatever you want to say, but we are still number
No, that is
two.
true.
What is that BJP was trying to show us here? They said they came out with the Hindutva agenda. They said we're going to unite all Hindus here. But what is happening today? They're hiring people from every corner of the state. They're hiring people from different faiths who have been abusing Mr. Modi. They're hiring people from, the church. They're hiring people from, political parties. Where is the ideology gone now? There's no Hindutva ideology anymore. They are just copying ADMK and DMK. Does not want another ADMK and DMK, which is already there. What is that they're bringing to the table?
Okay.
How are they going to convince the people?
No, no.
corruption-free and honest. That's anyway happening here.
Since that is
Today
a
we are
supporter
going
of
to the
your
next-
ally asking that question, Mr. Tirupati, you want to say anything on that?
No, no. See, the thing is that Muralidharan Sivalingam can say that we have gone away from our ideology, but our ideology is very, very clear. We don't follow pseudo-secularism as what other parties do in Tamil Nadu. We don't hate other religions, whether it is Hinduism or Islam or Christianity. We are for very, very communal harmony. We are doing that. So absolutely, people will definitely support us, and we are going to make it this time.
Okay, we'll have to see how it actually goes. As I said, usually these itineraries spring a lot of surprises, especially when it comes to someone like Amit Shah, who they like the element of surprise, the unpredictable. We'll have to see whether that happens in Tamil Nadu, a state where the BJP has a lot of ambition and is hoping to make some kind of an impact in this upcoming election. Amit Shah, it's the big one, landing in Chennai tomorrow. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being with me here on 5 Live.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.